So, two of the people in this movie also starred in a movie I got to see last year at the Knoxville Horror Film Festival called Trash Fire. And the one girl plays the burnt, disfigured sister of the main character named Pearl. Well, somebody needs to point me in the direction of Pearl's plastic surgeon because she's looking pretty damn good these days. 68 Kill. Alright, so 68 Kill is directed by Trent Haga, who's a person who knows his way around a horror movie. He's acted in a bunch of them, including Starry Eyes, which is a movie I love. He actually starred as Killjoy the Hell Clown, which, take that for as you will, but he's a dude who knows his way around a horror movie or two. Now, he's only directed 2 of them, and this being one of them, his second one. So I was interested. I'm intrigued to see what he can do as a director. Now, it's kind of ironic that I say that because horror isn't necessarily the first genre to place this movie in. Now, this movie, much like Trash Fire, which I talked about in my intro, is pretty funny. It's got a lot of comedic value to it. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a horror comedy. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a comedy or a horror. It's a bukkake of a lot of everything. There's action, there's drama, there's horror aspects, there is comedy. And it gets kind of confusing because we always tiptoe the line of, like, should we be reviewing this movie? And this is one of the ones I feel like is almost too far away from horror. Now, there's people getting murdered, there's robberies, there's breaking and enterings. But you get that, like, you can say that about, like, fucking Top Gun or, Mission Impossible. Like, people get murdered all the time. But don't let that take away from what this movie is. Because this movie has some very intense moments, and some where you're like, oh shit, what? This kind of came out of nowhere. Now, with that being said, it kind of falls into the same category that I was talking about with It Stains the Sand Red, where there was so much comedy at one point when some of the crazier shit starts happening. It was hard to take it serious, or as serious as they probably meant for it to be, because of all the comedy that was sprinkled on top of it. The actors in this movie, probably not people that you're like, oh, fucking that dude, I know him, or that girl, I know her. They are actors that you've probably seen in other shit, but you're not going to know who they are right off the top of your head. Matthew Gray Gubler and AnnaLynne McCord, which I also talked about, starring in Trash Fire, they carry this fucking movie. They do a fantastic job. Both of them very much carry this movie. There is a couple other characters they throw in here and there. And one of them, you could actually say, like, has quite a bit to do. AnnaLynne McCord, kind of a badass, kind of psychotic. Not even kind of psychotic. The bitch is psycho. Again, she's smoking hot. Did a lot of good things since Trash Fire for sure. But those are your 2 main characters. You throw in one other character in there and you're like, oh, okay, but honestly, it's just those 2. When you're talking the actual storyline, as I said, it's not necessarily a horror movie. He works in septic tank. She says he scoops shit for a living. She is a prostitute. Or, I don't necessarily prostitute's the term. You're going to call her a call girl, but nonetheless, she's sucking dick for a living. So, she is out with one of her clientele, and he shows her a wad of cash. 68 grand, which is where 68 Kill comes from. I'm taking it at least. And she says, we're going to steal this shit. We'll do it. Nobody needs to know about it. We'll do it real quick, roll quiet. And he reluctantly, naive, says, all right, let's go do it. They go in there, and she just starts slaying people. She stabs the 2 people that she sees. They take off their masks because they think everybody's dead. Surprise, they're not. It's not. And then shit starts to unravel. So as you can tell, this movie doesn't necessarily have, other than the killing, it doesn't really have that horror feel to it. Which, like I said, it really tiptoes the line, and I think it's the most tiptoeing I've ever done into the horror genre. But it's made by IFC, and IFC, they crank out some pretty damn good horror movies. So if you're looking for something that's going to scare the pants off you, look elsewhere. You're not going to get it. If you're looking for something to enjoy, the actors are great. The storyline, it gets confusing at times, and it's a little jumpy with, like, oh shit, that went down, now it's comedy, shit went down, comedy, shit went down, comedy. But overall, it's done well. Everything's executed well. The biggest gripe I have about this movie, they use some CGI blood, and it's not good. but it is like half a second CGI blood. So I can forgive them for the little bit that they used. I wish they would have went practical, but I understand why they couldn't. It is an indie movie. So whatever, I'll forgive you for that one. So in the end, guys, I love seeing the character building that they did with Matthew Gray Gubler. He goes from, this nerdy nothing, and he gets thrown into some shit where he has to react. And it's fun watching him react and have to deal with the shit that's just been thrown on top of him. So don't go into it for the horror. Go into it for the fun that you're going to have. There's tons of movies out there like that. I hope you guys are going to like it. You know what? This is actually, it's one of the better movies I've watched this year, I think. And that's crazy to say because, as you guys probably know by now, I'm an asshole and I don't like a lot. So go into it. Look to have some fun. And I think you guys will enjoy it. If you guys enjoy, don't forget to give this a thumbs up. Makes me feel all special inside. Subscribe so you can catch me next week because I won't miss another one. And until then, guys, I will see you later.